is Brianne with Miss Detail, and today we are interviewing Chris Evans.
Hello everyone, this is Chris Evans, author of Detailer's Dictionary. We're going to talk a little bit about the book and a little bit about me, give you some insight about me and my background, and I hope you guys enjoy it, so stay tuned.
So Chris Evans, what started you into detailing and what inspired you to write your book?
What inspired me was a young lady. It was me trying to impress her. That was initially how I got started. I didn't get the girl, but I did get bit by the bug of detailing. That was the only way that I could drive my mother's car, was to clean it. So yeah, I got bit by the bug earlier on. But I also seen that people in the neighborhood, in my community, they needed someone that they liked and trusted to, wash their vehicles. And it was kind of a, hey, this is a good kid, we like him, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and help him out. But it was also that chance and opportunity of relocating vehicles from my parking lot to a neighbor's house or to their driveway and making money. That was kind of the first money that I ever made, earning my own money. And I just kept going with it.
So you were kind of like a kid of the community at the time.
Yes.
You wanted to help the community.
Well, it wasn't so much as helping the community as it was impressing the ladies and making a few bucks. So yeah, being young and having money in your pocket and girls liking you was definitely a win-win around the board for me.
Helping the neighborhood kids. Where did you go on from there?
I've worked various jobs over the years in between detailing, but I've always detailed, whether it was nights, weekends, holidays at times. And the thing that really kept me going with it was just the passion. I mean, I love that doing something with my hands, and you have woodworkers that make furniture and that sense of pride behind it, and that's what I felt with detailing. Doing a vehicle, it's clean and it was done by my hand, and I got paid, so yeah, again, it was a double win for me. And the inspiration of the book, it was actually doing a TV show, Competition Ready, and Starbucks. The combination between the two is how I came up and created the book. Being at Starbucks, trying to order a small black coffee and having a barista and everyone in line laughing at me, I left away feeling like there needs to be a manual or something so you can understand Starbucks. So between that and talking shop with the guys after the show, the book had already been started, but that was when I kind of put it together and developed the book, and it took about 5 years to do.
Who's inspiring you to be the man you are today?
Honestly, it is the uneducated, unskilled detailers around the world, people that don't know. Of course, we have our celebrities like Winnie Doyle and Mike Phillips and, a lot of known detailers in the industry. But it's those that don't know, that are brave enough to ask and to, seek guidance in the industry. Those are the guys that keep me going. Those are the guys that help me put out this material, not just for them, but for the regular consumer.
Tell me a little bit about your book, Detailer's Dictionary.
Detailer's Dictionary is basically what it sounds like. It is a dictionary of detailing words, terms, meanings, definitions. There's charts, there's quizzes. There's a lot of information that covers pretty much most of the aspects of detailing in the detail industry, whether it's the novice, the do-it-yourselfer on the weekend, or if it's a professional detailer that needs it as a reference to aid in, training or customer. So it is definitely a lot of good material inside the book, and I feel that it's definitely a need for everyone, and that's not just saying that for book sales. It's education of any aspect of life. You have to start somewhere. You need a core knowledge of whatever it is that you're pursuing. in the interest of detailing, you kind of need somewhere to start to just understand the lingo and meanings and words, the difference between the compound and wax, the difference between the ceramic coating and the sealant. These are just base knowledge things that anyone that's interested in detailing in any facet needs to know. So that was the developing of it to share to the world. I feel everyone should have that common knowledge, that common string. There's always things that bind us and connect us. And detailing, that should be a universal language as well. So that was the inspiration of writing the book, and it's been pretty well received around the world. I'm surprised that it's doing as well as it has.
Have you heard any stories from like different continents or anything like that?
Oh yeah, it's literally everywhere. Brazil, Vietnam, South Africa, Greece, the UK. It is literally everywhere. Canada, you name it, it's there. Panama. And I'm naming these because there's interactions with certain detailers or shop owners in those countries. They've been supportive of the book. They've been responding with good reviews for the book. So yeah, it's literally international.
I have the ebook version, so it's always on my phone. Because sometimes you're talking to customers and you're like, well, how do I explain this? Or how do I explain this to them where they understand it? And that's why I loved about it.
Depending on time, it's good to just say, you know what, here, this is what I'm talking about here. Give it to them, give them that moment to read it, and just kind of step away, let them absorb it, take it in. So, yeah, I've seen a few people do that. Like, hey, they're explaining and they're showing them like, hey, look at this here, and they step away and they'll go talk to someone else or come talk to me, and the customer just sitting there like, oh, okay. Oh, so it's like, yeah, good stuff.
So is there any plans in the book for another Detailer's Dictionary, maybe 2.0?
I've been asked that question since the release of the book, and at this point, I would have to say no. Thinking about another book, I wouldn't necessarily. It's basically the need of the community. It's what detailers need or request, what they want. So if this isn't enough information with the other material that's out there, like Mike Phillips books or Rennie Doyle books, if that's not enough and this isn't enough, then maybe from what I hear, there's a few people in the industry that's interested in publishing their own detailing books. So maybe that will be enough, for someone that's looking to get into the industry or to have a reference point, in their detailing career. So maybe let's give it a little bit of time, let people absorb this one here and see how it goes. We'll pick it up later as far as if we'll consider another book.
I see on your shirt you're IDA certified. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, International Detailing Association. I am a member, certified detailer, and skills validated with the International Detailing Association. I also sit on the certification committee. I've been on there for about 2 years now, and it's definitely life-changing. It definitely has helped my career. Initially, when I first signed up, it was one of the few organizations that would give me some type of credibility behind my detailing. Other than friends and families and customers over the years as references, that was okay. But every potential customer doesn't go with it. They feel as if it's a friend or a family member doing a favor. They wanted something more of substance. So me becoming a part of the IDA afforded me the opportunity to do Mike Phillips Competition Ready. It afforded me to do the Nissan account when they do their press releases in Chicago. It also afforded me the opportunity to lock down a niche market, a high-end clientele, which also extended into fleet accounts and so on, and eventually landed me out here to California. So the IDA is definitely a big part of my career, always supportive of it. I can go on and on about the IDA, but it is definitely a need in the industry for our community, and not just us, but for the public as well.
What do you do for a living other than being an author at IDA?
Other than being an author of Detailer's Dictionary, I also do consulting for dealerships around the country. I go in and do an assessment of their detail department. I check their safety and efficiencies in their detail department, if they're overstaffed, understaffed. And I also do an online class as well. It's basically just the core knowledge of detailing. So if it's a professional detail shop that is bringing on new employees, they can sign them up online and give them a crash course instead of taking that shop time of training, which there obviously needs to be a hands-on training. But it kind of cuts the learning curve with doing the online class. And I also do mentoring in the industry as well. And so if there's anyone that needs any help, guidance, questions that they may have in the detail industry, I'm always there to be supportive, whether that's an email or a phone call.
Do you have any success stories? Have you ever helped somebody who is down on their luck and you help them into the detailing world and now they're successful?
Yes, actually, a young lady named Brittany, she basically never used a buffer a day in her life, and within 6 months, she moved up to detail manager because she just kind of got it. She had a natural aptitude for it. She followed instructions well. She retained a lot of the information. She was determined. She kept going. She always asked questions. If it was something she didn't know or understand, she had no problem with asking. And she just kept going nonstop. You know, she got that momentum and stuck with it. And today she's short of opening up her own shop. Yeah, so that was one of the success stories. Another one of the success stories is the Tesla account with Manheim. They were considering selling their cars through the auction. They needed someone credible to help sell the pitch that they were making to Tesla. After we negotiated the contract for almost 4 or 5 months, came out here, I wrote the standard operating procedure for how the vehicles are dealt with, and yeah, they won the contract. You know, they were impressed with the structure and the processes that we had in place. So yeah, I feel a big part of winning that contract for Manheim. You know, even though it was through a vendor company I was working with, I was definitely a part of that team of making it happen.
Where do you see the detailing industry and where do you think it's going to be going into the future?
I see the industry right now as being definitely more professional, more educated. There's much more of a reach than what we used to have. The image that's projected of the industry has definitely changed. It will continue to change. And I believe the industry is moving toward a more legitimate, solidified business where we're not looked at as just car washers, that we're looked at as true professionals in our industry, just like a mechanic or a doctor. You know, we have certifications, we have webinars, we have trainings, we have a lot of resource material, and we're a close-knit networking community with each other where we help with businesses and with our business outlook, accounting, customers, marketing, and in every aspect of detailing. So we're definitely moving in the right direction. And it's a pretty good direction. You know, I'm happy with the state of the industry, and I think we have a very good future ahead of us.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? What are your aspirations and goals?
Honestly, you know, at a point, I would love to do Air Force One. That is kind of like every detailer's dream, and I'm no different. Career-wise, I would see myself further with the consulting that I'm doing. At the moment, I'm dealing with dealerships around the country, going in, assessing, doing a safety check, and giving them a true report of the condition and the state of their detail department. So I would definitely love to see that grow more than what it is right now, and it's on a pretty good track right now. Aside from the consulting is continuing to be a part of the IDA and supporting the industry.
So if you could tell your Detailer Dictionary fans anything, what would you say?
Education, that is the name of the game right now, and it doesn't matter if it's, you know, ceramic coatings, wash techniques, whatever it may be. It literally is all about education, not just this year, but moving forward in the industry. Everyone knows and sees the significance and importance of education. I would strongly suggest that you get an education in any aspect that you can. It doesn't necessarily have to be Detailer's Dictionary. I would love it if it is, but get some form of education, whether that is formal or informal education. Just get an education in whatever aspect of detailing it may be that you have an interest in.
I want to say thank you, Chris, so much for doing this interview with us.
Sure, no problem.
And if anybody was interested in buying this book, where should they go?
Well, again, thank you for having me. And if you guys would like to purchase a copy of Detailer's Dictionary, you can go to www.detailersdictionary.com. You can also learn about the online classes there as well. And again, I really appreciate it. I enjoyed myself, had a great time, and thank you for having me.
And we appreciate your time. And we would like to ask you to please subscribe to this channel if you like this video. And don't forget to like and comment below if you have any ideas for future videos or interviews. And we'll see you next time.